Hello and welcome back to the Innsmouth Case with me, Bardon. Right, so this is going to be our last visit to Innsmouth. We've explored a lot of possibilities here in the town. We actually found the girl, which I was not expecting at all. I'm sure there's plenty more scenarios that we can discover as well in the town. There's even when I was checking today at the hotel, there's the whole wellness treatment thing that I'm sure that leads to its own thing as well. But I'm going to leave some of those for anyone who's following along with this, who maybe wants to get the info themselves and doesn't want to see everything revealed. And I'm sure, given how we just accidentally stumbled into the girl we were looking for, I'm sure there are plenty of scenarios like that we could be here forever. Trying to figure out what to do with things. So, why are we here then for one last time? So there's one theory that was posited in the comments by Richard, which was, what would happen if we join the cult, we go to the church, we find out, we meet with Gary's father, and then we wake up in our room to find Gary there in front of us. What's going to happen in that scenario where we are now a member of the church and we know his name? So, took a while to figure out how to actually get that to work, and still don't know whether I have or not, because I haven't been back to the hotel yet. And I didn't want to check it completely because it would ruin the whole. I want to record this as I am experiencing it myself, not as kind of oh, I know what's going to happen now, so I just pretend like it's the first time. No, I want it to be genuine reactions to stuff. So I don't have a clue what's going to happen. I don't know whether we are going to bump into Gary or not. But what I worked out was that you can't. So when you have to go all the way back to when you arrive in Innsmouth and set it up from there. You can't then go to the town centre and join the cult there and then go to the church, because then what will happen is we get to this point in the story and we haven't got a room in the hotel, and if we go to the hotel then we put into that one where we have to wander the streets. So we can't do it that way. You have to go to the hotel first, book yourself in. That's where I noticed that they had those wellness things. It probably leads to another storyline, but that's for someone else. That's for you to explore. So you have to go and book yourself in the hotel, then go to the city centre and get the card that lets you join the cult. Then from there, go to the church, have the interaction with Gary's father in the church. When you come out of there, then you can't then go back to your hotel and just wait for stuff to happen. And you can't go back to the town centre either. So what you have to do is you have to come to the beach and go through the whole thing of falling asleep at the beach. Because the game, once you choose the harbour, it seems that all roads lead to you being at the beach until nighttime. So that's why you can't go back over the other things. So you have to do it. You have to do it this way. So now from here we're going to see. I think we can get back to the hotel, because I'm pretty sure we did that before. But yeah, we're gonna head on back to the hotel. We're gonna try two different routes, I think. One is to go back and to find that weird room that we found before, and see what's in there. The other is to go directly to a room and see what happens there. So we've woken up here at the beach and we're going to continue on. So from this page, I think I'll actually read this page just to get the setting going. But I'll read the rest of the pages. Some of them are going to be stuff that you've seen before. But like I skipped a lot to get to here in the first place, and I don't want to skip anymore. I want this to be at the proper pace for a video on this game. So, with all that said, let's keep going. It's cold. You're freezing, which is annoying because you had settled down quite comfortably on one of the deck chairs. You could swear you'd noticed a shadow while half asleep. There was a figure who tried to grab you and carry you away. Was that all a dream? Chilly wind blows in your face. Oh, damn it. This case is going to be the death of you. You simply lie there as if dead. Your attempts to return to a more comfortable position are punished by a stabbing pain in your behind. Some bit from the chair is digging into you. Probably a cheap model. Damn tight asses, you mutter weakly and push yourself into an upright position. The sun is now set and all other holidaymakers have gone. Instead of freezing their asses off, they are probably sitting in a warm hotel by now. The moon illuminates the beach and the waves shimmer in its eerie green glow. Green. Nature is fascinating. You stretch your tense neck when you notice some lights off in the distance. Night has fallen and with each passing minute, it seems to get chillier. The lights appear to be moving and are leading away from the town. You wonder whether you should take a closer look at the spectacle or go to your own warm hotel. And here we go. So we're going to go to the hotel. Why not? It's freezing, and you've already screwed up the case. The day is over, and there's no way you'll manage to find the little girl today. Off to the hotel. Leave the beach bar with a heavy heart, and walk back to the harbour. A grey veil covers the town. The light of the sun drains away with it any residential heat, or residual heat. Although Innsmouth is a boring coastal town and probably doesn't have any street gangs, you feel relieved when you see the gable of the Gildan Hotel. On your way here, you distinctly felt as if someone or something was following you. You could swear that there were shadows. They were only visible for a fraction of a second whenever you entered an alley. These fleeting shadows, they are still there lurking somewhere in the dark. You can feel it in your gut. You'll soon be safe. The growing paranoia, the constant glances over your shoulder. Soon you can forget about all that. Grabbing a bottle of Jack is the only movement required once you're in the hotel room. The parking lot in front of your hotel is completely empty. Have all the guests left? Does Innsmouth even have peak tourist season? Fortunately, the entry gate is not locked. In fact, everything seems just as it did this afternoon when you left the hotel. Not a soul around. The chandeliers light your way into the foyer. The creaking floorboards welcome you. As you enter the foyer, you can hardly believe your eyes. Who's waiting for you at the reception? None other than Cornelius Gilman III. And you could swear he's in exactly the same pose in which you left him. He stands motionless at the reception desk. Let's greet him. You can't just completely ignore the only other person in the building. You stroll leisurely to the reception desk and nod at Cornelius. How nice to see you. I trust your stay in Innsmouth has been pleasant so far. He smiles. Yep, very pleasant. Yeah, great, you automatically reply, the same way you would when a child presents you with a particularly ugly drawing. Fantastic. In that case, I hope you have a good, sound sleep. You nod again. He is awfully polite. He keeps standing there for a while, smiling securely to concierge. If there is a creepy smile contest, he definitely won. Not that this was ever in much doubt. Okay, yeah, and now, so we're going to have two things, I think. So, as I said, one where we go directly to a room and one where we go to the other room first. You walk up the stairs to your floor. Then you stroll along the long corridor until you reach the fork with the deceptive mirror. You briefly consider your appearance. You look quite exhausted. Probably like anyone who spent their holidays in a town like Innsmouth. Are you imagining things, or do your eyes seem a little puffy today? All the more reasons to go to your room. You venture deeper into the bizarre labyrinth of this hotel floor. You manage to find your room and you only get lost once on the way. You quietly open the door and enter. Well, well, well. It is barely necessary to switch on the light. You walk towards one of the windows and look out into the starry sky. A huge, strangely green glowing moon illuminates your room like a spotlight. The whole room is plunged into a surreal glow. Unfortunately, there is no window blinds to block out the light. Just great. Let's freshen up. Fresh armpits are what distinguish humans from animals. You enter the bathroom under the flickering ceiling light, whose lamp has probably never been replaced. You brush your teeth. Take a closer look in the mirror. You put the toothbrush aside. Your hands close around the edge of the wash basin. You slowly lean towards the mirror. The flickering, glaring light of the ceiling lamp is not exactly flattering. Have you always had those round pop eyes? Has your nose always been that sunken in? And you should really do something about these bulging wrinkles on your jaw and neck. Maybe a facelift, like all those Hollywood stars who tragically find themselves on the wrong side of 25. So I'm going to interrupt it there for a second. So it looks like we can't go to the other room before coming here. So although I didn't actually go and find it because I was quickly clicking through things, but yeah, we'll just do this scenario then. And maybe one of you guys, if you're playing the game, can maybe explore that yourselves. Right. Looking at yourself gives you the creeps. Let's stop looking. Today was thoroughly exhausting and you just want it to be over. You don't need a mirror and cruel bathroom lighting to tell you that you look off. You quickly brush your teeth and give yourself a quick wash. These away from home jobs, you realise how far away you are from your home, your dirty apartment, and your even dirtier office. Now that you're finally ready for bed, your body feels as heavy as lead. You stand in the middle of the room. The warm, stuffy air gives you a pleasant, tired feeling. You are safe here. There might be incestuous maniacs out there on the streets, but here you are safe from them. You drop on the bed like someone who has no intention of ever getting up again. You transition fluidly into your dreams. You've only just closed your eyes and you're already somewhere else. Suddenly your worries are very different. You're running in a desolate grey maze of winding alleys. You can hear the cheerful laughter of a small child. If only you could catch up, you could save the child and take them home to safety. You sprint down the path and turn around the corner, then around another. The alleyway stretches out in front of you, but there's no person to be seen anywhere. What was that? Was that a shadow at the corner of the street back there? The silhouette of a figure? You realise that someone is following you. Look over your shoulder. You cast a hasty glance over your shoulder. Then you see them out of the corner of your eye, shadows, but they have repugnant bodies. You can't really put it any different. You catch glimpses of oily skin, swollen boils, and even tentacles. But nothing stays in one place. Everything seems to be constantly moving around. A body in metamorphosis. Patches of skin tear open and close again, and awful smacking sounds. You briefly catch a glimpse of the thing that was following you silently. You know you've already seen more than you should have. That short glance was more than enough. No human being can stand looking at this creature. They're completely losing their mind. It's right behind you. The figure in the distance has already disappeared behind the next corner. Maybe you can still catch up with it. The alley winds through the town in confusing ways. Nothing makes sense anymore. Whenever you move, you never arrive in the place you expected to. It feels as if, slowly but surely, you're walking right into the jaws of a massive monster. All of a sudden the walls close in on you, and the path becomes so narrow that you have to walk sideways in order to fit through. Wherever is behind you is getting closer. There's not much time left. There must be another way. Take a step backwards. The buildings of strangely narrow alley extend high up into the sky. Innsmouth didn't have buildings that high, did it? No windows for you to climb in, no doors you can knock on. There's still something behind you. Keep moving, keep moving. There's no point in following this endless labyrinth forever. With bated breath, you turn around and look down the street you just came from, in order to face wherever is pursuing. No matter how hard you try, your eyes refuse to look directly at it. The tentacled meatball right in front of you seems to be only a small outgrowth of the much larger, but also shapeless, impossible creature that is following you. You begin to despair. I can't remember what we did before. Close our eyes? You close your eyes and your fear is gone. Did the thing really look that horrible? Didn't it actually resemble that creature from the cartoon series about a school full of monsters? It was naked and carried its 2 eyes in its hand. The cartoon series are pretty sick sometimes. Heavy steps and then the bizarre creatures approaching. Wait. Keep calm. Your mind is racing. Not looking directly at the creature has suddenly allowed you to come to your senses again. In your steps, slimy, shape-shifting steps. Quick, what now? Kick it in the face. Nothing matters anymore. You shift your weight, swing your leg and kick. By Jove, you kick. Your initial plan was to kick that thing in the face. This is easier said than done with a shape-shifting blob. But if you're lucky, maybe a head will spontaneously form where your foot lands. Another sound. No steps this time. It sounds more like a wet sack falling over. Good kick. A heavy load has been lifted from your shoulders. You feel free. And then we wake up. A wonderful dream. The kind where you face your subconscious fears and defeat them. Maybe the fact that your subconscious has projected an obnoxious blob should give you food for thought, but you can go over the details with a therapist later. The successful fight against the nightmare creature has relaxed you. You sleep the sleep of the righteous, or something like that. Your sleep is only interrupted when you hear a soft chant.
Ia, ia, Cthulhu Fatang. Ia, ia, Cthulhu Fatang. Ia, ia, Cthulhu Fatang. Ia, ia, Cthulhu Fatang.
It seems a group of people have invaded your room while you were sleeping, carrying torches and pitchforks. They have squeezed themselves between the bed and the closets, their faces hidden by hoods. You're quite grateful for the hoods because they hide the hideous faces of these locals. Your suspicion that radioactive waste is being disposed of in Innsmouth is confirmed once again. The light of the torches dances frantically on the wrinkled faces of the people staring down at you, shining beetle eyes, bulging lips. You've seen these deformations many times during your short time in this town. While the crowd merely gazes at you like you were an animal in a zoo, a pop-eyed man with sunken cheeks leans over you. In his hands he holds something shiny. He's holding a knife right over the place where your heart is. The man remains in this position, clears his throat quietly. So this is Gary. So this is the moment of truth, I think.
Oh well, this is inconvenient.
Hey, what the heck? A group of strangers invading your room, repeating chants and waking you up. Those hillbillies sure picked the wrong victim. Hey, what the heck? You growl at them, thoroughly annoyed. The man who was just pointing his dagger at you flinches. His arm slowly sinks down, irritated. He exchanges looks with his comrades. You don't know that yet, despite spending a whole day in Innsmouth? There is an uncomfortable silence in the room. Are you being serious? It's a sex cult thing, isn't it? These hillbillies are only ever after one thing. As soon as a good-looking newcomer from the big city comes in their little village, they all want a piece of the cake. It's a sex cult thing, isn't it? A few gasps can be heard. Mummy, what's a sex cult? The voice of a child asks from the back.
Shh, not now,
someone whispers quickly. Who brings a child to a ritual stabbing? Quiet now. The gaunt man, probably the leader of the group, swings a dagger through the air in an agitated manner. No, we are not a sex cult. He hesitates. Technically, So, yeah, I was hoping that at this point we would realize, hey, this is obviously what the father was talking about. This must be Gary, but it doesn't look like it's going to work. Fine, then what are you? Not a cult, fine. You can hardly imagine these people here in speedos or bikinis, let alone completely naked. Fine, then what are you? You say defiantly. Gaunt man scratches his head with the dagger. Okay, so, what do you know? Did you notice anything weird today? Oh, maybe now. Yeah, I guess this is the... I think there's a murderous deep-sea cult at work here. You brought out. You're at least 68% certain. The group whispers among themselves. Their leader slowly nods. Okay, not bad for a start. Though he doesn't sound particularly impressed, a smile creeps onto your face. Finally, an achievement. Oh, come on, please. Fingers crossed, I got both fingers crossed on both my hands. And I'm going to press the mouse in such a way, even though I don't believe in luck at all, but hoping for some luck, and we're allowed to say that it's Gary. Okay, so where to start? The stranger sinks to his knees and thoughtfully taps the flat side of the dagger on the edge of the bed. Well, for starters, we pray to Dagon, ruler of the ocean. This is, Dagon can change shape. He prefers the shape of amphibians or octopods. A kraken, someone in the crowd says helpfully. Yes, that's right, kraken. More than 100 years ago, the founding families of Innsmouth committed to following the order of Dagon in order to never go hungry again. Mummy, I'm hungry! Shh! Annoyed, the man casts a glance over his shoulder and then continues. On nights with favourable constellations of the stars, we sacrifice infidels. Today is such a night. He waves his dagger. All those involved in such a sacrifice, he gestures to the rest of the group. You're beginning to feel like the single customer in a sales presentation. Are in Dagon's good books for the rest of the year. He takes a deep breath. Delia Marsh is from one of the founding families. Well, she's pretty good at luring victims to Innsmouth that nobody will miss, you know? The pregnant pause gives you a knot in your stomach. And, in addition, a group of chosen individuals will be united with Dagon's children. They perform the Dance of the Deep on the beach, late at night, when the moonlight shimmers green. Dance of the Deep. Unbelievable. You try to read the man's face to see if he is serious or not. The dagger aimed at your heart earlier makes the latter less likely. Yeah, so this is a little frustrating because we've had the conversation with his father and hopefully something clicks. This is Gary, this is what the father was talking about. It must be a lot to process all at once. The group giggles. Well, now that all questions have been cleared up, the leader of the group brings himself into position again, clutching the handle of the dagger with both hands. Yeah, Cthulhu Fatang. Confused and overwhelmed by everything you heard, you sink back onto the bed. The dagger hovers ominously over your heart. Yeah. Sorry, Greg? Oh, it's Greg, not Gary. Someone taps the man, Greg, on the shoulder. What is it? He hisses, turning his head, without changing his posture. Well, it's just after midnight. Greg doesn't move. He still squints over his shoulder. He swallows. It's what? What's the time? 1:15. I think we chatted for too long with our intended sacrifice. We're a bit late to start off with. Greg drops his arms and staggers back as if this news has hit him like a blow. How could that be? Why didn't anyone say anything? You were all... The other one clenches his fist, right in the middle of it. Get out! Everyone out! Greg waves his hands, which is still holding the dagger. The part of the group that is closest to him ducks slightly in order to avoid the blade. When everyone has left, he turns to you. Greg looks down on you like you're nothing more than vermin. Just wait until the next constellation. Then you'll get it. Then we'll get you. He hesitates a moment. You must of course go back to Innsmouth for that. We don't have the funds to go to your... never mind. He stomps out of the room and closes the door behind him. Did you just manage to avoid certain death? A shiver runs down your spine. Although you're not 100% sure whether you're safe, sleep tempts you. It's just after midnight and your eyes are tired. Was this the only horde of armed lunatics on the road at this time? You spend the rest of the night comfortably cuddled in bed, awake and alert under the bed. Under the bed. Let's say awake and alert under the bed, because the last time we did that, we did the comfortable thing. Of course, they'll never find you under the bed. You crawl under the bed, trying as best you can to ignore the cobwebs that are covering your face. You lie huddled in the dark, convince yourself that this is a good idea. You struggle. The hours seem to crawl by very slowly. Then it dawns. Then it's dawn, sorry. In a haze, you walk into the bathroom and change. Your face in the mirror above the sink looks like it's aged by many years. You walk through the corridors, then down the stairs to the foyer. You give Mr. Gilman the key. I hope you had a pleasant night in our hotel. Very nice of you to bring back the key. Would you be so kind as to fill out our questionnaire? With a stiff smile, he hands you a sheet of paper and a pen. Okay, and that is where we're going to leave it. So, yeah, it was definitely a nice theory to check up whether joining the cult would give us something different there. Unfortunately, it didn't. But I guess that's the thing, right? With stuff like that, this is you can't legislate or plan for every eventuality. Or they would have I think they have 64 different encounters that you can have. So yeah, that's probably would expand the writing a bit too much to start adding it and stuff like that. But it certainly was a really intriguing idea that Richard had, and I do wish that there was some different interaction with it, but alas, no. But still, I've had a fantastic time with this game. I'm sure there's plenty more to find in the game, so if you're interested in picking up for yourself, you can explore stuff there, and maybe come back and post a comment and let me know if you do find something different. So this series is finished, but I want to start another series that is along similar lines, and I'm thinking that it's probably going to be the Shrouded Isle that we play next. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is the one that we are going to look at next. Again, it's one that I'm going to play blind. I like to do that. I don't like to, especially with stuff where it's story heavy, I don't like to read about games, or other than people kind of recommend, oh, this is a good game. If you like so game, then that's fine. But I don't like to read spoilers or go searching the lore of what is behind the game, because then that can spoil the kind of blind nature of the playthrough. But yeah, that's going to be coming soon. I'm not sure what days it's going to be up. Not sure whether it's going to be a straight swap for this or not. I'll have to kind of determine that as and when. I'm looking at the moment, looking at the schedule and thinking where a game's going to fit and stuff. Son of Sea is coming to an end as well. I think maybe I've actually recorded the last episode of Son of Sea, which was amazing to finish as well, because I love that game. Yeah, I kind of had difficulty actually letting go of that game after so many years playing it, because I could have still just potted around that sea for until I couldn't play video games anymore, to be honest with you, because it's just so relaxing. But yeah, that's coming to an end. This has come to an end. We have finished our What's the name of the other one? Check here. Oh, Master of the Plague Doctor, of course. We finished Master of the Plague Doctor as well. So 3 story-heavy games have finished. The Shrouded Isle is going to be coming in as a new story-driven game. Probably going to have a new turn-based tactics series starting up soon as well. It might be that we go back and play Battle Brothers again for a little while. I've got unfinished business with that game, I feel, but yeah. As always, at the end of a series, I'm kind of prattling on, but I hope you will indulge me. Yeah, so series is done. More series coming in the future. I hope if you have enjoyed the series that you wouldn't mind maybe sharing it with someone. Because, you know, as I've said many times, never going to be a huge channel, but I always like to think that, you know, there are a few people out there at least who will enjoy my content. I'm always very appreciative when you take the time to watch my content and the time to comment on it, and also the time to actually share that with others. So I would really appreciate that. But that is the end of the series. Hope you have enjoyed it. I've had a fantastic time with this game. Thoroughly recommend that if you enjoyed it, you pick it up and experience it yourself. And I will see you on another series. Stay safe out there. Goodbye.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button there on the right, or checking out some other videos here on the left, or perhaps you might even share with some friends.